Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about the deprecation news about the protractor E2E. We have seen kind of the protractor features and then the page object model, how to design and then how to handle the async await to resolve the promises using the TypeScript. We have kind of created a framework and all those details with the protractor, but then recently, I have came across this particular news that a protractor is planning to kind of deprecate or stop maintaining the protractor from 2021 and onwards. Okay, so that's what we are going to see. So why exactly the protractor decided to what do you call stop the maintenance or supporting the protractor, and then what are the alternates with the protractor? So that is what I wanted to discuss with you guys. So let's get started. So on this Angular, so as we know that protractor is basically from the Angular team in Google, the developers were created this protractor to test their Angular application, and at that time Angular JS was there. So this, if you go to this particular link, it is kind of giving a brief about the history and then what and all the obstacles they got and how did they came across or came out of those obstacles and then why they're deciding to stop what do you call supporting this one. Okay, I have kind of gone through this entire documentation and kind of with my experience, I wanted to share few of the things. Just I'm getting the gist out of this so that you guys can understand quickly what is it and what is the next step of doing if you are really using protractor as a what do you call learning or in your organization you are using. Okay, as it's kind of giving about where when it started and then so we know that it is basically protractor is a wrapper on top of the Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium with JavaScript, that particular code base is taken by protractor team and then they have added few of the features. So I just wanted to give you guys those features which is listed even here also. But quickly let's talk about that. So if you see they have added actually few of the locator strategies. Okay, so the main reason why we were using the protractor is kind of the locator. So the protractor provides some more locators like you can even use by dot model, by dot binding. That was the Angular JS locator strategies, right? But then nowadays most of the people are not or they have migrated, most of the organizations they have migrated from Angular JS to Angular actually. So where all these locator strategies may not be playing a key role in that. And another thing is that most of the real time applications if you are working on, they kind of tend to use actually custom attributes, like they might use some data hyphen id or they might use something organization hyphen id, which is a constant like in all of your browser elements they will be adding these ids. Okay, and which will be added by your developer and then you can use anything like your xpath or css selector to handle that. So this by dot what do you call by dot model, by dot binding, all these things are not coming into the picture. So that is one of the thing about the protractor actually, which you can even utilize without protractor also. And another thing is also if you would have seen here, they are kind of they did the control flow actually. So we have already learned about this, right? How are we resolving the promises actually by using the async await, which is part of your control flow, right? You have to use the async await so that you will synchronize your protractor test cases so that all the test steps will be executing line by line, not like in a what do you call in a haphazardly manner actually. But with the Selenium 4.0, which is the latest version which is still running on the beta version, so in this actually they kind of dropped the concept of control flow actually. So now protractor had to write or have to write actually some other logic actually to handle this async await, which will be like a significant amount of work actually they need to do that to support this control flow deprecation from the WebDriver. Okay, so this is again another reason which they felt So these are the two things they kind of felt that why not we can what do you call drop it. And then there is another important part that I wanted to let you know guys is this what do you call, let me just move directly to this. And another benefit of protractor was that wait for angular. So this is something which was going under the hood actually, which we were not even what do you call looking into that as a front end while using the protractor. So because as we know that all the angular applications are kind of we can use the automation by using this protractor. So protractor given this wait for angular concept, which was using actually to wait for some angular components to finish actually on the back end, so that it will wait for the what do you call, for that particular line of code to finish, so that it can go to the next line of code. But then what they are saying is that although wait for angular is useful I mean in protractor, we can handle it by using some retry mechanism. Retry in the sense we can use some WebDriver wait, we can use some thread dot sleep, or we can wait, we can use some hard waits or some kind of WebDriver wait or fluent wait by using, or even we have seen how we can customize the WebDriver waits also. So by using those mechanisms, we can even make an alternate to the wait for Angular, right? So we need not to worry about what is happening on the back end. We can even check whether the application is really ready or not. Okay, and by using that we can do, so we can even get an alternate to the wait for Angular. Okay, so now as you have seen, like these are the three main reasons which they need to, I mean they have implemented, they have put their effort, but then again they are seeing that there is not much impactful change, what do you call, benefits to a user actually, to what do you call, to use the protractor. Okay, and then it is the angular stuffs are keep on evolving, and then they are changing rapidly, and as per that the angular team has to support the protractor also, means they have to even what do you call update the versions of the protractor to support the newer versions of the angular. So that's where they thought that whatever time they're putting what do you call into this to improvise the protractor, during this course of evolving or improvising the protractor, they have seen that some other tools actually in the market, that is that came into the picture, and they are, and then they are kind of what do you call becoming popular so quickly than protractor. Like they have even listed out kind of a good chart actually, if you can see here. Like if you see in the whole world actually globally, protractor is kind of using by 19.5%. Recently they have seen that most of the people are now migrating towards Cypress, because Cypress is giving lot more facilities or lot more features and all those things like API implementation and some other stuff. Actually they are rapidly, they are improvising their own framework actually. That's where everybody were kind of migrating to that. So then protractor team actually, or the angular team have decided that why not we can stop what do you call thinking about protractor, and then so that people can what do you call migrate to some other tools, and then they can get the benefit out of that. Okay, so that's where they thought that we will stop putting our effort into this, and then they can just focus into their angular development, and then they can help the development community to build more good angular components. Okay, so that's where they thought, and even they have that was the main reason actually. They thought that they will stop what do you call maintaining or supporting the protractor. But still if you scroll down a bit actually, if you still want to use protractor, let's say that you have a very robust protractor framework and you don't want to migrate to any other what do you call tool into the market, then they have given these two organizations, they are giving a long term support. Like let's say that if your organization still not what do you call uh, comfortable actually in migrating those things, you can contact these two particular organizations. They will help you to have a long term support for the protractor, but you might not get a direct support from the protractor if you wish to continue that from next year onwards. Okay, and then they are giving kind of their what do you call proposed time actually when they want to stop the migrate development of the protractor or stopping the protractor. So you can look into this. Probably actually they are saying that they will be announcing nearly towards May 2021, which will be the Angular version 12. When it is becoming 15, they will completely stop the development of the protractor. Okay, so if you are using like 12 or less than that, you can use protractor happily. There is no issues with that, but extended support you can contact these two organizations. Okay, so that's one part actually if you want to still continue with the protractor. So we have seen what is the reason, main reason behind that, and then how you can get a long term support if you want to still continue. Now the second thing is that let's say you are kind of a starting phase, and you are ready to move to some other what do you call tools in the market. So they have listed down all these things, and this is in alphabetical order. They've mentioned it's not like their preference of order. So you can use Cypress like as you can see in the graph, and then the market is growing with the Cypress because they are giving a good support, the Cypress team. And then there is something from the Microsoft, you are getting Playwright. You can go to this Playwright, and one good benefit of this Playwright is that it is supporting multiple languages, your Selenium. So it is supporting actually C sharp because it is from Microsoft, and then it is supporting Python, which recently I have seen. Even it is supporting Java as well. So if you want to explore Playwright, you can go with that. Cypress is basically supporting JavaScript a lot, but I've seen few of the blog posts, and then some what do you call some posts about even you can write TypeScript as a language for Cypress. Puppeteer is again another tool. Uh, you can use JavaScript in that. And then Selenium WebDriver, we know Selenium with JavaScript, you can use it out of the box Selenium, and you can leverage that. Okay, and then like you can use the what do you call Java or JavaScript or anything, and you can use like the WebDriver weight or Fluent weight, or customize the WebDriver weights as well to handle the weightings, actually the Angular weightings or whatever the backend stuff is taking time, and you can handle along with that. Okay, Test Cafe, this is again another tool you can explore with that. WebDriver IO, this is again another tool which you can use it for the JavaScript based framework you can create, and you can use it. But mostly because Cypress is becoming more popular, I would say if you are a newcomer or you want to explore something on the JavaScript framework side, you can go with Cypress or Playwright because it is coming from Microsoft, so they might give a good support and it will evolve, and what you call rapidly they will be adding more and more features to that. So with my opinion, so far I have seen Cypress, Playwright, and Selenium with JavaScript or with any other language you can use it, and you can use the XPath CSS selectors as a locator strategy, and then the WebDriver weight as a weighting mechanism to handle all these things. So that is pretty much I wanted to discuss with you guys, just to give an information about the protractor, what the team is deciding. And then if you want to, if you are continuing with protractor, or if you already have a framework, then what is your thought process should be, how you want to proceed. So that is what we have discussed. I will be tracking actually this particular. So as you can see, this is basically a issue where the protractor team kind of given a details, and then you can keep tracking or following this particular issue. Actually they're like most of the people, they're giving their own what do you call suggestions. And even I've seen few of the people actually they are giving most of the tools to migrate your existing protractor script. I have not tried yet, but then one of the team member from the Cypress, they are telling that in Cypress they are kind of developing a kind of mechanism where a protractor scripts you can directly convert into a Cypress. So that's yet to come, and we will be keep watching on this particular post, and then see what improvements they are giving, and then making our life easy to migrate from protractor. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hope this session is helpful. Do share this particular thing if you know any of your friends are using protractor, so that they will be aware of the future future scope of this protractor. Thank you for watching.